Welcome, everybody. This is Web Lab 2019. I've now been involved with this class for too many years, but I love doing it. It's a ton of fun. I took the class my freshman year, and I've been involved in running it every year since. So, been doing it a lot, and it's awesome. So, what is Web Lab? And yes, it's Web Lab, not Weeb Lab or Weeb Lab. That was a big discussion among staff, but basically, this is going to be a class where we teach you guys how to build a website. It's going to be pretty fun. It takes a ton of work, so before I get too much into it, let's give a shout out to the core staff. We've been putting a ton of work to get this thing working, so most of them are here. I'm teaching. Aaron, Alex, hello, Alex. Stand up, staff. All right, fine, you guys are, yeah, stand up. And everyone is here except Andrew, who will show up at some point. So, yay for staff. Onwards. So, in this class, we're basically going to take you from end to end. And what that means is we're going to be giving you tips on how to come up with ideas, which Jessica will be teaching right after me, after we reveal the theme. And we're also going to be helping you build fully fledged websites. And what's pretty cool about all of these websites here is they're all final products of winning teams from years in the past. So this could be you. But so one thing just to give a warning. It's not really even a warning. It's the world of websites is absolutely massive. So it's extremely hard to come up with a unique idea and even build something that looks awesome. Like here's some very examples of different websites. There's XKCD, which is a great comic, and basically you can go and just click next, go to a random one. There's Facebook, much more interactive, whether you've heard of Facebook through their scandals or you just use Facebook. Basically everybody knows about it. And the last one, which was a big part of my high school experience, was Agra.io, which is also a website, or some people would say it's a web app, but it's still using the same technology that all other websites use. So how does this all work? So before going into what the actual high-level tools that you're using are, let's just talk about what the process is, when you open up Chrome and you type in XKCD. What's actually kind of going on behind the scenes? So realistically, what's happening is that the client, which is you, want to get some files from a computer that's somewhere else in this world. And the way you do it is using the internet. You send something called a GET request, which we'll go into detail later. But what it does is it's basically asking that computer that's somewhere out there to give you some files so you can render XKCD. It gladly responds, given that you have internet, and it works, that it gives you back some files, which are web page files. You, who are using a program to view those files, are all happy. And what is that program? It's Chrome, or any other browser that you're using. It's just a program that can render web page files and show you XKCD. So what are these web page files, you ask? Well, there are four big things. HTML, which is basically laying out your website and what the content actually is. It's a markup language, which is what the ML stands for, not machine learning. CSS, which is basically how you make it pretty. And JS, which is how you make it functional, JavaScript. The last thing that every website needs is images. So basically, it's images, videos, it's something that every website's going to have, and those things together are web page files. So before going into more detail about technically how does this stuff work, which is what Rapine is going to dive into later today, let's go into what the structure of this class is and how are we going to teach it to you guys. So the first week is going to be us building an app from scratch together. And the way this works is we're basically going to be teaching you the content, and as we're teaching you the content, we're going to be doing workshops and kind of building an application from zero to the very end, just through this week, so you guys have an idea of what the process is like. Week 2, we're going to have advanced topics. This year, we're going to be teaching React and supporting it, so that's pretty exciting if you know what it is. Otherwise, we're going to be teaching other advanced like CSS techniques, and we're also going to be having sponsor lectures. Sponsor lectures are really awesome. It's kind of a glimpse into industry and how web development techniques and kind of practices like enter into industry and how companies use them. Week 3, we no longer have lecture anymore, so it's just free time for you guys to code or do whatever you want. And week 4 is that more seriously, and then you have the final submission. So realistically enough, this class goes by super quickly, but yeah, you have a month. And if you have any more questions, you can literally just go to our website. We have the schedule, and on our schedule page, we'll be uploading lecture videos and slide notes several days or a day after the lecture is done. So first things first, what app will we be building? So we made a great social media platform for cats called Catbook. So this is something that we'll be working on together. I actually do not know what previously was posted on this, so it's basically a blogging platform for anybody to just log on. You can view somebody's profile and see what their last post was. This is my favorite cat. And you can log in through Google, and you can make posts like, hello, this is a nice post, and submit it. Or you can make new posts, hello world, for a third time. And it works. So this is also something that we'll be working on together, and it's going to be a, I do not want other staff members trolling me, so we'll close this. So onwards. So this class has several deadlines. We call them milestones. One of them is this upcoming Wednesday, so you guys should be, well, it's basically team formation. And along with team formation, you come up with 10 ideas, and we will give you feedback on the top 3, your first 3. Milestone 1 is something we require people to come to in person. It's basically you give a pitch about your top idea that you want to build your website off of, and you have to come up with wireframes for it, and you do it to staff and some industry sponsors. And basically, we'll give you feedback on whether we think your idea is too narrow or it has the right scope, and also we'll suggest technologies for you guys to use. We'll have the minimum viable product for everybody, which is the second milestone. What this basically means is we want you guys to have the bare functionality of your website working by the 3rd week of IAP. And you don't need to have all the things that are pretty about it. You don't need to have all your extra features that make it awesome. But your core functionality should be there for the 3rd week. And lastly, the 4th week of IAP is going to be your final website, and we will grade that. One thing to note is that milestone 3 is due at noon, so for all of you guys who like pulling all-nighters, that's the one you pulled all-nighter for. So, what are the requirements for this class? We want you guys to build something that is dynamic. So, unlike XKCD, which is very much like you're reading some page and you're not really interacting with it that heavily, other than clicking next, we want you guys to build something that has much more interactivity between the user and whatever product that you're creating. It needs to be something that's personalized, so it's not something like, again, XKCD, where every person sees the same thing, versus it's much more like Facebook, where every user has their profile, has some information stored about them that people can use. Lastly, it needs to have minimum security requirements. This class we teach authentication vis-a-vis Google. It's honestly the easiest way. If you guys hate Google, which is possible, you cannot do authentication vis-a-vis Google, but you will cry when programming it. So. Then lastly, we want to make sure that you have some original design and implementation. Of course, we're going to rely that you, or not really, we're insisting that you guys come up with everything from the start of this IP. There's no using previous projects, coming up with ideas from long ago and just using them and using some helper functions. Everything's starting from scratch this IP. And additionally, we'll be using Git on a repo that we create for you guys so we can see what you guys are like pushing and making sure everything seems legit. If you guys don't know what this means, we're teaching Git tomorrow, so don't be afraid. Things that we don't want: no WordPress or Squarespace to help you make your website. It also doesn't really look good, so you're not going to be happy anyways with it. No using previous projects, as I said. No outsourcing your development, having minions, doing evil things, putting malware on our computer. That will not let you win. And if you have any more questions, you can either go to our website or you can post a private Piazza question. Some things about judging, more things on our website. I don't want to blather on about it. Help. So web development, help is huge. Stack Overflow will be your friend if you know what that is. But another form of friendship comes through Piazza. We will literally have a response time that's probably under 5 minutes for any question that's not between 3 a.m. and 10 a.m. What are you... 5 minutes is winnable. Previous years we've had like sub 2-minute response times. We'll go for 5 minutes this year. Other forms of help, there's our website which has resources. There's office hours, which are every Monday and Wednesday night, and we have hackathons in this class. And what is a hackathon? Basically, it's extended office hours. All staff will be there. It goes up for 6 hours long, and you just try to get as much work as you can done. Another reason to come to the hackathons is we have boba. We bring boba to hackathons, so come, it'll be fun. So, this is also a note that I just kind of wanted to talk about, like what else is there to WebLab. A lot of people think like they're going to take this class, just learn how to build a website, and that's it. But for me, and part of the reason why I wanted to like sign up to teach the class, is that I got a lot more out of it. WebLab like really provides you an opportunity to learn about a ton of things. Like one of them, for example, is like UI design. Understanding how to build a convincing user interface is something that's going to like show up in any field basically that you're doing, or not any, but like most fields, understanding how to build or engineer something that has a good interface for users, whether that user is yourself or the general public, is really important. Learning version control, or maybe still messing up version control, but it's still fine. Understanding how version control works is something I learned through this class, my freshman IAP. It's really important. Being a professional CS person, or even non-professional, you need to know how version control works. It's a taste of Core 6.3. I really felt that because when building a website, you literally can do anything that you want. If you're really into algorithms, you can build a website that really uses some like hardcore algorithms to provide users with some like, I don't know, really cool mapping results, or literally you can apply it to like anything. You can also use like machine learning if you're really into that. There's realistically, you can go down any avenue you want, and it really can kind of go whatever you're interested in. And lastly, for me, it kind of touched something personal, because like I never really built something with a team before, especially programming-wise, and that was my first experience, my freshman IAP. So I really got a lot out of that. And whatever, I'm sure there'll be other things that you guys get out of it that like are personal, so that's that. And most importantly, this is like not your standard MIT class. This is not 6006 or some like standard class where you have assessments, where we force you down like a strict path. Like this class is whatever you guys want to make out of it. Like if you're really busy this IAP and you want to put a little bit of time in, that's like totally doable, and you can like get a rudimentary idea of how web works. If you want to pour 1 million hours a week into it and build something really awesome, like you guys, the doors are open. Like websites are kind of the type of thing where you can put infinite time into it and there's still an avenue to make it better. So I really want to encourage you to like do something that you guys are interested in and just like put time into it, because I think you'll get a lot more out of it and it'll be fun for you as well. So now the fun moment is the theme. So the theme reveal for this year, So just an idea for last year. Last year we had the themes that were very specific, such as around the world, remember the future, beyond the horizon, and back to the roots. So those were our themes in previous years. So one thing that we do, and you guys might not know about, is we come up with a video that announces our theme. And so I'm excited to reveal to you guys the video for this year.
All right, let's get you plugged in. Wiffy, or is it wifey?
Why don't we just go in?
And we are online. Cool.
That's great! We are going to the internet!
Super excited. What is the internet? Oh, holy cow.
Congratulations, you're a winner!
16 child stars went to prison. Number 6 will amaze you. That sounds interesting.
Come on!
Redirecting to eBay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next item up, a black velvet painting of a sorrowful kitten. It's like it's looking into my soul.
Yeah, that one's really gonna haunt me for a while.
Oh, games. Pancake. Milkshake. Milkshake. I'm starting to understand why people like this game. What is that? Milkshake.
Hey, look what I found! More candy! Ralph, you might want to try feeding the kitty for a little while.
No, the kitty gets the milkshake. The bunny gets the pancake.
To start, press any key. Where's the any key? I see S, Carl, and pickup. Give me any key.
So, as you guys saw at the end, the theme for this year is press any key to start. So, take with that as you will. Jessica is going to be teaching a lecture on ideation and what directions to kind of go with after this.